we're going to be changing the battery on a 2018 Toyota Sequoia. And I hope for anyone who's never done it before, we'll have a few pointers for you. We start by taking off the positive cable. And we're using, it looks like a 10mm socket. So everything in the Toyota will be metric. You can put your standard sockets away. And we'll loosen the bolt that holds the terminal in place. It's probably still going to be a little tight. And it is moving. We can almost get it off, but so far it's still stuck. There. Positive terminal is off. I'm going to tuck it behind this hose so it doesn't touch the terminal on us inadvertently. Then you will use the same socket to loosen the negative cable of the battery. And it looks like my short extension is not going to fit in there. We're going to try to do it with just the socket on our ratchet. Now you'll notice that I am not using any power tools here. I'm not a professional. I don't have to move fast, and I like using hand tools. I can be a little more careful. And this is actually going to work perfect. And you hear the negative terminal loosening up already. And it's loose enough where I can do it by hand now. Or maybe not. I probably can spin the ratchet by hand. We'll get it nice and loose because these terminals tend to stick a little when you try to take them off. All right, let's see if this one will move as easy as the positive terminal did. It's going to, yes, there it is. Negative terminal is off. Remember, you always start with the positive terminal and then second comes the negative terminal, and it's a reverse when you put it back together. It's going to be a little harder keeping this from touching the negative terminal. So I'm trying to push it back out of the way a little bit. Okay, I think we did it. And then on these Toyotas, you have two hold down bolts. They look a little corroded. We're in the Northeast here where you get a lot of salt corrosion. All your bolts tend to get corroded. Sometimes they seize up, sometimes they even break. So when you're working on your car, you got to be prepared for that. This looks like about a 10mm, let's see. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. It's the same size as the terminal clamps, actually. And we're going to use our extension. And a ratchet. Pretty simple. And I think it's coming off. You heard it break free. I think that penetrating oil helped a little. Now we're not going to be able to get this short socket on the other one because the basically the stud it bolts to is sticking up quite far. And I'm not sure if I have a deep one of these. And pause your video. Okay, and actually, no, not the negative. We do the positive first. Positive terminal first and negative will be last. And we put it on nice and snug all the way down. We take our 10mm socket. And it works well with our ratchet and extension. All right, set it to tighten. All right, let's tighten this up. And we want it nice and snug, but not superly over tightened. No need for it. It should not be able to move. And that's probably going to be just about right. I'm going to test it. It will not move. It's nice and firm. As the positive is on, we're going to put the plastic cover back on. And now the negative will generate a small spark. Now this The only way you could ever get these crossed is if you bought the wrong battery, which had the terminals opposite. And if you ever put them on opposite, you could damage your electrical system. You'd most likely just trip the main fuse or fusible link, depending on the car. A fusible link does the function of a fuse. It's a wire that will melt before you melt the rest of your system. But let's suppose you bought a battery with a post reversed. Now obviously these wires won't fit you couldn't reverse them on the correct battery, but if you had a situation where you had the wrong battery, let's say you got a good deal on this battery, wasn't really for your car, well, if you touch it and you get a lot of sparks, back off because you may be doing it wrong. What you will see is a tiny spark when you hook up the negative terminal. So that's going to happen right now. And in this case, it did not spark at all. And we're going to, so we have the negative terminal on, but we're going to tighten it down a little. I mentioned there are some vehicles, I believe BMW is one, the newer ones, where when you put a new battery in, you have to reprogram it because your computer actually uses the age of the battery to decide how much alternator power for charging. So in a case like that, you could probably still change the battery, but you need a expensive scan tool to be able to reset the age of the battery in the car's computer. You do not have to do that in a 2018 Toyota Sequoia. We're checking that it's firm. We are done. Thank you for watching our video. We'll have more videos as we change oil, fix brakes, maybe flush the cooling systems, and we look forward to you coming back and watching our videos. Thank you.